Hey guys, I finally hit the 5,000 mile service interval for the DC5, so it's due for an engine oil change, but today I will mainly focus on the gearbox oil change. So I've already done a video on the DC5 where I changed the engine oil, and I'll leave that in the description below. Now, to warm up the gearbox oil, you can either drive it around, which I will do, or you can leave it on axle stands and run it through the gears, but it is quite dangerous and I don't really recommend it that way. So I've just come back from the drive, everything is warmed up, but let's go inside and grab some of the fluid. So from my little storage area up here, I'm going to grab some of the MTF fluid and a hemp filter. I'm just waiting for the engine oil to drain fully, but whilst I'm doing that, I'll just show you guys what I will be using to change the gearbox oil. I have 3 bottles of the Honda MTF fluid, so that's manual transmission fluid. This is actually quite universal with all Hondas, they use more or less the same stuff. And I also have this sort of large syringe, so this will be sucking up all the fluid into this reservoir, and then as I push it out, it will go into the fill hole. And I also have the oil filter, just about to change that, and what I like to do is just write the mileage onto the oil filter, so next time I take it off I just know that I've done it at the correct time. Magnetic drain bolt with a nil washer. Engine oil has been changed, so we have a new filter there, it's blue, and a new washer on the sump plug as well. But now we shall concentrate on the gearbox. So this is the gearbox right here. This is the drain bolt, and just above there, that is the fill bolt. So we'll undo the fill bolt first. They're both 17mm before we undo the drain bolt, and after we'll drain all the fluid. Now usually these are done up quite tight, so I have a fairly long spanner. And then after we're going to undo the drain bolt. Now as you can see, just a bit of fluid is coming down. I'll explain to you guys why in a minute. But as I undo the drain bolt, most of the fluid is going to come out of here. So we have the sump plugs here. This is the drain one and this is the fill. This is magnetic, but it just shows how much debris or metal filings has been collected at the top. So if I just wipe that off to show you guys, you can just see a bit of the filing. You just want to clear that up. But we'll be changing this for a newer drain plug. And obviously the fill plug, we're going to change the washer on this one. So it's all good to go. But in regards to the manual transmission fluid, this is what I had left over from my previous job. So I got about 600ml left, but literally if I just show you guys there, dip it in there, and as I pull the handle back, it should suck up a fair amount. Okay, so the reservoir is more or less full at the moment. We'll just go over and fill this up from the top. We just clean up the area a little bit. Put the drain bolt back in. Now, in terms of filling up the gearbox oil, you will obviously do that with the fill hole up there. Now, you keep filling it up until it starts overflowing from that hole. That's when you know it's at its maximum. So you guys can just about see that it's overflowing in that hole. I'm just going to finish off by pushing all the fluid in there just to make sure, but it's definitely overflowing there. So it's at its maximum now. We can plug it all up. So just clean up the area, tighten them all back up. You can start the engine. You can even run it on the axle stands, but be really careful about that. Or if you're not too confident, take it for a test drive, make sure you don't have any weird noises or anything like that, and then come back, check for leaks, and you are more or less done. The gearbox oil change is actually quite easy to do, especially when you're doing an oil change. If you've never done your gearbox oil, then that's a great time to do it. So let me just show you what it looks like. So that's more or less the color of the gearbox oil. Now there was a bit of old engine oil in there, but considering that the gearbox oil hasn't been changed for a very long time, you can tell by the color of it. The thickness isn't too bad. and my oil filter is in there because I did do an oil change as well. But I hope this video does inspire some of you guys to do your own gearbox oil change. Please do be careful when you jack up the car onto axle stands, and if you are going to run it in gear, because if it does fall off, then it will go shooting forward. So do take care of yourselves. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys soon.